watch me win.
Dun 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 dun.
Cleo's doing a mic check now. That we're live and she's doing mic checks now.
Hello, are you with us in the room?
Hello, 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 hello.
Be in the room, not in South
Be
Africa.
present.
Who, me?
In other words, yeah.
Yes.
My presence is
The room.
a present.
The room is his present.
Ladies and gentlemen, no stranger to the podcast. Our guest today is, and her name is Cleo Ice Queen, otherwise known as Icy Gang, otherwise known as, there's so many
Is
AKAs.
the gang or are her fans?
She can be, and her
What?
fans too.
Or how can she be part of her fans? Dude.
She is her own fan. You should have seen her at Kazadi's birthday party, and now she sang raps to her own songs at Kazadi's party.
Was there a connection
Oh my goodness.
To,
Kazadi's party and her rapping?
no, I'm saying she is a fan
Because you
of,
mentioned it twice.
No, guys, let me just clear this so that you guys can stop going back and forth. Oh my goodness. Icy Gang is what we are called as a collective, but it's also the name of the record label that I'm working on, which is Icy Gang Entertainment.
there we go.
So yes, AKA is Icy, and yeah, some people do call me Icy Gang, you know, but just keep it to Cleo Ice Queen. Call me Ice, call me Queen, call me Cleo Ice. You know, it's all up to you. Call me Ice Queen. It's all up to you.
But why Ice Queen? Is that how cold your heart is?
Well, a little bit of that, you know. I feel like the Ice Queen name has come about with me being born in June, and obviously the region we are in, June is winter time. That's a coincidence, but also it does involve a little bit of, having to be called in a game that was male dominated when I was starting out. I think now it's kind of mellowed out a bit, but back then it was so male dominated. So
What is Melodum?
in terms of, there's more women coming out as rappers today. Back when I was doing it, it was something that people were laughing at. Something were like, what, a rapper? What? No. Yeah. Hey, nigga, hey, come on, rapper, take a rapper. Yeah. You know, they laugh at you and whatnot. Now, a female can come into the game and it's like, it's normal. It's acceptable. So
Yeah.
I had to be a little cold in order to navigate my way in the industry. So hence the Ice Queen, and also the love of jewelry. So anything icy, anything bling bling in hip hop slang, ice is
Dope.
jewelry. So hence the Ice Queen.
So now you don't have to be as cold anymore because it's not male
You
dominated?
see, the thing is, you can call upon it when you need to, but you don't have to move in that regard at all times.
What even gave you the courage to keep going when people were telling you a chick in a male-dominated industry?
I think it was the passion.
Right.
It's always been the passion first. And then eventually, as I grew into the industry, it became more about, okay, learning the business, being open to learn is a very, very key thing that has helped me to grow. And not just learning informal, like the school of hard knocks, the school of the streets or whatever, but even a formal education. So I'm working on my master's, a degree in marketing. I mean,
Right.
say master's. I'm working on my degree in
Why
marketing.
you look at me?
So
Why you look at me?
Are you part of the set?
I'll tell you why, Cleo.
why?
Anytime we have a guest on this podcast and they talk about degrees, you look at me because...
Oh, why? Is there an inside joke I don't know about?
Yeah.
What is it?
Okay,
What's wrong?
I went to uni and I dropped out and I don't have my degree yet, so...
You see? You see?
You see what other people are doing?
Oh my goodness.
A hit dog will holler.
Listen, and I'll go back to school one day just for the sake of my dad, who always said, without school, you will not succeed in life.
Yeah.
And I sort of worked hard the past 10, 15 years, sort of to prove him wrong.
Okay.
That you could also get, self-educated.
Yes.
And even without a degree, you can still have education.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So I took that path. But for the sake of my dad, for him to rest in peace, I will go back to uni and get that degree just for my dad.
away.
And I will go to his grave in my gown and, put that
Beautiful.
degree there, leave it there, maybe never even use it. Yeah.
But you might say you're doing it for your dad today, but once you do get there and you get into the process, it will actually help you so much. And maybe you'll see a little bit of the things that he did tell you at the time and why you
And you know what I'm going to study?
Speaking
Entertainment law.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
like that.
Entertainment law.
a very good segue. And this is my way of giving back, and you could be the first person.
You're going to pay my fees?
No, I'm not. I'll do better than that. I'll do better than that. I had no idea that one of the people that followed me on social media was the guy that owns the university that I went to, Mr. Jan Romberts. So he calls me about 2 weeks ago. He says, I've been following your journey.
Right.
Do you remember how you came to the university? I said, yes. So I will not get into much of the detail about our discussion, but what I will tell you though is, so the university that I went to in SA, it typically requires you 4 years to earn a degree, but they do it in 3. Right after that, every single person that passes the academic part of the degree, you will be flown to Belgium, where you will automatically be attached to a company and you'll begin to work there. So through me, I'll be able to get students from Zim and Zambia to go to the Belgium campus for a degree in ICT.
Oh, wow.
I'll give you more details as to how you can do that.
Beautiful, man.
So if you would like to do that, so your job is already guaranteed after 3 years in Belgium. That's the route that I took as well, found myself in Belgium.
Is that for every single student? Or is it just like...
Every single student. For as long as you complete your 3 years.
So what uni is that again?
It's called the Belgium campus.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Simple name, eh?
Dope.
Yeah.
Very
It's there in Pretoria, Acacia Park.
I like how simple that name is, and I don't mean to shun or look down upon the university that I just saw today. I don't know if you saw that on this road. The London American University College. I'm like, are you from London? Are you from America? Are you university? Are you a college?
Yeah, like what are you selling us here?
Everything there.
God, you saw that on this road. The London American
If
University
you like
College.
London, you can come. If you like America, you can come.
One of the
If you like universities, you can come. If you like a college,
We got it all.
Yeah, that's on.
one other thing about this spot, it is littered.
With
No way.
Massage
parlors.
Wait, is it this road or the actual spot?
No, this road.
What road? Like
area.
this bum. Have you visited these massage?
Nope. We just see them as we drive past.
Okay.
However, a little birdie said,
Are you the birdie?
anyway, no, I'm not that person anymore.
You're not.
But I'm sure you know what I wanted to say.
We'll get back to it a little
About
later.
one person.
In the meantime, just a major shout out before we proceed with Cleo. A major shout out to the people that are making this possible, this podcast, the Asset Podcast. Shout out to Techno, who gave us cell phones that we're enjoying right now. Techno is also
Brilliant phone, that man.
yes,
They're
and
celebrating 10 years in Zambia, by the way.
they're celebrating 10 years in Zambia.
In next month, 10 whole years.
Wow. Also, major shout out to brothers who've been with us for a year and a month now, and the relationship is still going strong. Thank you so much.
The money finally came in. Thank you.
And we gave Gob something, and we're still owing Gob some money, but in a story for another day. Cleo, you to the
got
podcast.
blue tick. Oh yeah, wait, hold on.
What?
So Techno also gave us some gifts. So there's what do you call this? The thing that you took from Chichi.
What was it? The watch.
No, not the watch. The power bank.
power bank.
Yeah, so there's power banks that we're giving you. They are drinking bottles,
Yeah.
like so. And there's one that I think Ben might like. Hold on, look. Come on. Let me have what? What's wrong?
I'm looking at you. We're laughing. We're an inside joke, Cleo and I. You never know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Ah, nice. Are we giving these away?
Yes, we're giving them away.
How many?
Let's give away 10.
They're pretty.
On this episode? Like in the link to this episode?
Yeah, but then let's come up with okay, cool. So the question is,
No, we'll
I'll
put
give
it.
away to none. Right now, I'll give away 2. To the first person that tells me Cleo's last name and Cleo's first album.
Wait, maiden last name or marital last name?
What do you want?
Let's go with marital last name.
marital last name.
Yeah, that's
First person to give me her marital last name and her first album, one each.
Cleo, from the last time we spoke, this is like, what, 3 years ago, eh? The last time on that podcast, we were on the 11th floor
In a hotel room.
Yes.
the
it was
Hilton Hotel.
That is
Yes.
not operational anymore.
Really?
Oh, because they closed down the building.
They closed down the whole building.
Yeah, sad for that.
You did not know
renovating
this?
it?
No, because the building wasn't safe.
Oh, man.
Oh, you didn't know this?
After the whole renovation.
Imagine pimping up the whole building and then that happens.
Can you hear Paris Hilton being told this?
The Hilton family doesn't own the Hilton brand anymore for hotels.
Oh, they don't?
Serious?
Actually, yes,
So-
that's what I heard.
Oh,
Oh, I mean,
you want to Google that?
You're just
We like
okay,
fact
just
checking
like-
on this podcast, yeah.
Fact check immediately.
Cleo, from the last time we spoke, you come on the podcast today and you tell us you're listening to a whole lot more gospel music now.
Yeah.
Is this saying like there's been a whole lot of a change in Cleo's life over the years from the last time we spoke about 3 years ago? Let's start with the gospel music.
Yeah.
How have we ventured into that now?
I think listening to the gospel music
Right.
is, I listen to mostly gospel music and old school music. And today, old school music is dubbed as what? 90s, 2000s,
Early
right?
2000s, yeah.
Yeah, early 2000s. So I'm listening to more of that. Maybe it's because it's a little bit of a comfort zone, and it's also where I got majority of my inspiration from when I did start to make music as about 10, 11-year-old. So there's a lot of that. And then with the gospel music, I find it to be just so calming. And I find it's less, I'm a type of artist who, because I do hip hop, I don't listen to other hip hop artists.
Right.
Because I don't want my sound and my way of thinking and delivery to be saturated or to kind of go with the trend that's happening at the time. And I find like a space in gospel music that has just given me that calm where I don't feel like there's no unconscious influence, and into my sound. So even if it comes from the gospel fraternity, I actually don't mind it because it's glorifying God. That's what
Right.
gospel music is about. It's not really about self. It's more about worship. It's about glorifying God. And I'm about that, away from doing the music. I'm about that in my day-to-day life. Every morning is like, okay, thank God we're alive. Or thank God for my kids. Thank God for my husband. Thank God for my family. Thank
Attitude
God for
of
my mom.
gratitude.
Thank God for every environment that I go to. Like, I feel we need to be a reflection of our creator because we were told we were created in his image. So more and more, I'm like, I need to be a reflection of something greater than me. And it helps me to overcome a whole lot of situations where sometimes someone will try to make you feel small. Sometimes someone will try to bring the worst out of you and all of that. But you have to kind of take that, some moment, count backwards from 10 and remember who you are and all of that. So I find gospel music to be very calming and reassuring and
Right.
reminds me of that a lot of the time.
What are you listening to mostly in terms of gospel?
I've been listening to Travis Green,
I enjoy Travis Green.
right?
Yeah.
Other than that, there's this other guy, I think his name is Anthony Evans, that I just
I can listen to
recently
Travis
found.
Green all day. And the ones that are always going to repeat, Made Away.
Really?
Ah,
I
Made
love
Away.
Be Still. Oh, it's my anthem
Still.
right
I love
now.
Be Still as well.
So that's pretty much what it's about.
Okay, cool. And we're talking about the number of kids now. The number hasn't grown much from the time we had the episode with Yazid.
Still 3.
Still 3.
Still 3. I have 3. I would love to have more, but I'm just like, I've had my 20s giving birth. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, can I have my 30s to myself, for a bit? I know they're there and I give that to them, but I'm just like, I want my body to myself. I want to work on my body. I want to work on other things. So maybe, I don't know, there might be just like an oopsie, I wouldn't mind one, and hopefully they're twins so that we can just wrap it up. You know what I mean? But yeah, so far I'm happy.
Mother of 3. And you're still looking good, by the way.
Thank you.
Still looking beautiful.
so much.
Kalala, you lucky. It's a gymming that's really helping, right? Because I think you post a lot about, is it Evolve?
Diet as well, yes. Evolve Gym, that's my home right there. I've been with them now for 4 years because I was there when I was pregnant with my son. I was
Right.
working out pregnant. I remember that time. I really enjoyed those sessions. And people used to look at me like, you're pregnant, you're working out. I'm like, yeah, but we're keeping it, nothing hectic.
But were you working out until like labor?
Pretty much. But then COVID hit.
Oh,
the
that
gym
period.
kind of-
Yeah.
The gym kind of closed just before my last one is a COVID baby. So
I'm always nervous when I see pregnant women in the gym because I'm like, isn't it like any second anything could happen? Like,
Well, you see, Evolve is also a female's gym. It's all female. So they are
right.
specific with such things. Like if you've just given birth, they have those certain classes for you. If you're pregnant, they are pregnant friendly classes. There's also a pool at the spot. So you can do your workouts in the pool, which is always safe. And yeah, because it's so women oriented and there's so many women around, it's just such a safe environment, such a safe space. So
wait,
yeah.
at that gym, men are not allowed completely.
Men are not allowed completely. Our trainers are female. Everybody's female. Even
Like Kalali can't even come to visit you. Kaladocious can't come to visit you while at the
there's a
gym.
restaurant there called Habib.
And that's as far as he can go.
That's as far as he can.
Right.
Go. It's a healthy food cafe also. So all your healthy foods, there's no fizzy drinks. There's no, it's strictly health. Everything is like mostly from the earth to the stove to your plate.
And then word hits us that you are now the latest judge on the singing competition Icon. Wait, are you replacing Ruth Ronnie or what's really going on there?
I don't know if I'm replacing anybody. I was just engaged to be a judge and I was like, yeah, that sounds really good. Hell yeah. I think it'll be really fun and I'm excited about it.
Can we have an applause there, Gob?
It's so funny. 10 years ago, 2015, I released an album titled Gemini's. It's off the DSPs. I don't know why, but I'm trying to get all of that sorted. But there was a song I did with KB, Killer Beats.
Right.
And K Army. It's called Goodbye. And FJ sings the chorus. And there's a verse that I wrote and I said, and when I retire, my status will say icon. The game is mine in a chokehold like a python. And it's just like 10 years later,
you're an icon.
Here comes the icon
Full
thing.
circle.
And I'm just like, oh, and I'm actually giving my last hip hop offering album this year, 2025, which is exactly 10 years later. So I'm not trying to say that I'm retiring, but it is my last hip hop offering. And it's just like, when I thought about it, when I was taking a bath the other day, I was like, there's this line in that song, when I retire, my status will say icon and the album is coming. And I'm just like, oh, wow, look at God. Prophesying in your music is very important. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, I told that to rappers who keep talking about things that, who rapped about, what's his name again? About a week ago. What's his name again?
Yes.
Bobby Schmurder.
Guy, yes.
Didn't he just describe to the cops everything he did when he killed the other guy? And that's why he ended up in prison,
That's how
right?
he got arrested. Yes.
Yeah, well, you're a way smarter rapper, clearly.
That's crazy. I don't even think it's about being smart sometimes.
I think it is.
I think you can try to be as smart as you can, but maybe you just have to be a little bit more, what's the word? Intentional.
Right.
Just be intentional. Yeah, you might not be the smartest in the room, but just be intentional about what you want to do, what you want to achieve. And I think that's the key thing.
So wait, for Icon, why do you think the judges picked you? Because, there's going to be people who are going to be coming on Icon singing, there's rapping.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Kazadi the other day, he's talking about how they really want to come up with a new Zambian sound. Not really new, but something that puts Zambia on the map and identifies us. And what's the phrase he gave me again? Something that says this is Zambian music, as opposed to what we've been putting out mostly.
I get you. I mean, it's difficult to encapsulate Zambian music in just one thing.
Right.
It's like saying South African music, even South African music is so broad, but just that the popularized one is Amapiano right now.
Yeah.
It's been Kwaito, it's been Gom, it's been, a house, exactly. There's several other sounds that South Africa has given us. Like right now, there's this sound that I was listening to, which is just like, it's like traditional and it's so beautiful. And I don't even know what it's called, but I'm like, I love this. I'm vibing to this. So I think it's difficult to encapsulate like music that comes from one country in one word. You can't say American music and generalize it because there's hip hop, there's country, there's this and that. So I think it'll just be probably one of the facets that we want to push and say, this is one thing we also want people to identify and say, this is Zambian music. And that helps to not insult what's already there and what others are doing as Zambian music, whether we call it Dunka, whether we call it Kopala music, whether we call it Exe music or whatever it is that we'll call it, you know what I mean? Or Zamrock or whatever. So I think we need to be cautious of that and very wary of what we're doing, because we can't put all of us in one box and say, if you're not doing this, then you're not doing Zambian music.
No, I think David's point was more about, you know how when you hear Rumba song, you automatically know where it's coming from.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's that sound that you can't misplace.
It's undeniable.
It's from Congo.
Yes.
So the conversation I had with David is talking about how he wants Zambia to have a sound, and they're hoping Icon Season 2 helps us develop that sound.
Yeah, but more to Cleo, you can't have one sound that defines a country.
Like Congo has Rumba, what do you mean?
But again, going back to South Africa, if you hear Kwaito, you identify that with SA.
Yes.
If you hear house music, you identify that with SA.
Zambia has Zamrock.
Yeah.
By the way.
But then again, I don't even know what Zamrock sounds like. If I hear a Zamrock song,
Remember the song that Tyler, the creator, sampled? The one?
yes,
That's Zamrock.
right.
Right.
But if I'm to hear that, and I've never been to Zambia, I would not point that to Zambia.
That's Kazadi's point.
So I hear you. My point is, okay, I'll give you a different example. When you listen to Zim music, there isn't one particular sound that you can tie to.
And I'm glad you
Zim
brought up
music,
Zim.
right? So if you listen to Tuku, he's got his own genre of music, right?
Which I
If
think
you
a lot of people have
listen
tried
to-
to sort of call it.
If you listen to Jar Praiser, it's the same thing. It's totally different to what else that you can listen to.
Right.
If you listen to this kid called Holy Ten,
Tami Moyo.
right, Temi Moyo. So there's different sounds that you can hear 5 different artists and you can say, oh, Zim. Oh, Zim. Guy called Alec Macheso.
Yes.
Totally different. So I don't know. Yes, you might have one which is distinct, but I don't know if you can tie one particular sound to Zambia. Because now, for example, if you hear Yo Maps, you can't say that is a Zambian type of sound.
But I like the examples you gave of Zimbabwean music. Every time I hear, even before the lyrics come in, I can almost tell it's a Zimbabwean song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is what Kazadi's point is. We want a sound, you know, that says that is definitely from Zambia.
So I've got a question, right? Do you believe that, especially with somebody who you're going to nominate as an icon, do you believe that talent you're born with when it comes to singing or rapping or music, or it's something which can be taught to make a good musician?
To be honest, it's a little bit of both.
But if you had to pick one,
If I was to pick one, it's really hard. But there has to be a born this way element to it. Absolutely.
so you cannot find a person with a horrible sounding voice and teach them, coach them, because there's those vocal lessons on how to control, how to hold a note, etc.
Yeah.
You can't teach that.
There's certain things you cannot teach,
Like?
you know? There's just certain things you cannot teach.
what?
If you don't got it, you don't
Got it. If you're not born with it, you're not born with it. Yeah.
You don't have
What
it.
things
It
can you not
has
teach?
to be there.
What things can you not teach?
You can't teach things like class. That's one.
Why not?
It's just the way it is.
Then why do you need
the rules?
Why do you need class to be able to sing?
It's not even just about the class, but it's also somewhat about the way you carry yourself. So the talent has to be there. And the talent that's why I leaned towards the born with it. You have to be somewhat born with it. Then we can cultivate something out of that. But to say there's absolutely no talent, no rhythm to this person, no musical ear, then it's going to be just way too much
You
work.
do realize that scientifically, I just have to get the actual facts. You can come in with this. There is a way that producers are able to create a hit song. There has to be certain words. I was listening to a podcast that if those words and those notes are included, you're almost guaranteed to get a hit song. So you can get into a lab and manufacture one that there was la la and there were certain notes.
You need, what's the word again for those la 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 la?
Yeah.
Melodies? Or
Melodies. The word will come as he.
Yeah, so in the podcast, they gave you specific hit songs that had those, it was the notes, it was particular words, etc., particular beats, a particular sound, that if you get somebody who's never stepped into a studio and you coach them, you are able, even like if you Timbaland signed an AI artist. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
You are able to coach and create and manufacture a hit.
Yeah.
We've seen people that have come in and that have wowed the world with almost little talent, made one incredibly hit song and never heard back from them again.
Yeah.
So that's precisely why I asked the question to say, are you not able to get somebody from the street, coach them for as long as they are teachable and they are able to create
A hit song.
Yeah.
But I don't think a musical career is about a hit song. And that's the thing. It's about what you bring. It's the passion. It's the soul. And that's what I believe that somebody is born with. They just bring it out because it's what was inbuilt. It's an innate nature that they cannot help themselves. I need to take this out. I need to bring this message out. So that's where the artistry comes in. You can't really buy artistry. You can't teach artistry.
You can't teach
se.
artistry?
No, you can't teach artistry. You can teach notes. You can teach music. You can teach me the sound.
I disagree with that. I think you can teach artistry.
It's okay to disagree.
There's whole classes on that, actually.
Which whole class?
On artistry.
Yes, it is about artistry, and we are calling people to come and say, we are not going out in the streets to say, oh, I think this is the one. Oh, I think that.
No, I'm saying that teaches people artistry.
Yes.
There are whole classes on that. So my point is, I think you can different types.
No, but she's talking about music.
It's to say different types, including music.
Yeah, but more to Cleo's point, I remember watching a Zahara interview. She was talking about music is actually like the people lost in the game. It's a gift. Anybody can release a hit song. And we've seen people like Vanilla Ice, one hit song, Ice Ice Baby, and that was it. Yeah. Because the guy didn't quite have the gift. So we can call it a fluke.
I don't know if it was a gift more than just consistency that they didn't want to.
No, when you're gifted, you can keep going with that gift. And you give us...
Absolutely.
Kalenga, yeah. I hear you. There are people that are gifted, but have only made a couple of hit songs. And you can tell that there's a gift and there's a talent. But, and I've said this, your talent will take you places where your character cannot sustain you. So yes, you might have a gift, but you might have a shitty attitude. You might have a shitty work ethic, and that still stifles your growth. Yeah, but then or the other way around. Hold on, let me finish.
It's not about hits.
And again, there are people who might not have a gift, but they are determined. They want to keep going. So you can tell. Yeah. I'll give you a very good example. In Zim, there's this kid called King 98.
Holy 10, King 98. What's up?
Whose father had a lot of money. This kid had no talent. You could literally tell that music was being forced on us because of money. His father would buy him features from Davido to Nasty C, etc. And he churned out garbage year after year after year after year. Best producers ever. So now you are forced to listen to that.
Because it's in your face.
I love
Not only that, but then it would get to a point where the Minister of Information then banned international music. Banned international music and said it's 100% local content. So if you go at that time to Zim, people would be singing songs not because they liked it, but because it's every 3 minutes
they've got no option.
And that's what music is like. You know, when I was being trained for radio back in the day, we were told about 3 listens is all it takes to get your ear accustomed to something. So there's always an intentional thing to be like, okay, if we want to make a hit song, we have to have 3 listens. And hence why replays on the radio or replays on TV or wherever, be it a social media platform, will get you to start liking something and unconsciously just singing along to like, I don't know why the song is stuck in my head. But anyway, to close down this whole conversation of talent or gift or being taught or etc., for the icon, it boils down to we are looking for someone that is coachable, someone that is going to be a well-rounded artist. So we're going to look for all of those elements. So you might not be the best singer to have won the icon.
Right.
You might not be like the most exceptional in the world or even of the bunch, but it's about also various other elements that we are looking at. And we've seen this happen on many other musical talent shows. Look at how Fantasia didn't win American Idols. Look at how Jennifer Hudson didn't win American Idols. And they are fabulous singers, but they went on and
Relevance in Zambia.
You see,
Didn't win, but gave us.
so it also boils down to a little bit of that. We're looking for a well-rounded package artist because we've realized that talent is one thing, but are you able to deliver when it comes to your character, your personality? Are you able to be taught? Are you going to be able to? We're teaching also the business side of the music. We're teaching them the CSR side of the music. We're teaching them collaborations. We're teaching them how to use inspiration and write your own songs, songwriting skills. So are you able to deliver and check all of these boxes? That's the type of icon that we are looking for.
So it's only singers.
No, rappers too.
No, all music is what I mean.
Music, yeah.
It's just music. What happened to the last guy that won it?
Oh, it's him the other day. What's his name again?
Exactly. That's my point. You don't even remember. That's my point. How much of an impact did he make? If you are saying, what's his name again?
Listen, maybe that's why they called me to come on as a judge, because
That answers
there's
my question,
lots- I'm an experienced artist.
So what are you saying about the previous judges?
I'm not saying anything about the previous judges.
Yeah, shots. Do you have gunshots there?
Tell who you want. I'm not saying anything about the previous judges. All I'm saying is that they did their part. They did what they could. And it's like that in life. This time, there's Cleo. There might be other people.
Change is the only constant. Yes, there we go.
Change is the only
So
constant. So
basically-
next time, it might not be me.
So
It might be
basically-
someone else. And they'll bring something new to the table.
person
Maybe
that-
was lacking.
The person that you will help win this icon would be remembered than the previous one, is what you're saying.
Well, musical journey is a long journey. And just because right now the previous icon is not somebody who is completely out there or hasn't made an impactful name after the icon show, does not mean it's the end of their journey. They still have more to offer. They're still very young and they're also still learning a lot. So I believe that there is still more to come from that one. But in the meantime, we are
Has he released any music?
What?
Has he released any music?
I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I'm not too sure.
And Mordecai, what happened to him?
No, it's not part of the icon, but Mordecai is still very much present. I think he just released an album a couple of months ago, if I'm not mistaken. Timeless.
Yes.
Is that his second album?
Should be his first, yeah, first ever. That was only supposed to come out in September last year, right?
And actually, he does have his own type of fan base and listenership. I feel music is at such a pivotal point in Zambia where the sound, first of all, globally has changed. It's switched up a little bit to what people are vibing to, what people are accepting. We're getting to that era where we're like, you guys, listen to 90s, 2000s. There's a music, what our parents used to do, like listen to Teddy Pendergrass or whatever. There's a music, you know what I mean? So we're kind of starting to be at the beginning of that part where, because I have a 16-year-old, she'll be 16 this year.
Huh?
Yes.
16-year-old what?
Girl, a daughter.
A child.
And you just turned 30.
Who came out of you?
Yes.
Why is she here telling lies?
Talking about just turned 30 last week.
Why is she here telling lies?
Just turned 30.
She said in her
Guys,
30s.
let's focus.
I'm just joking, bro. I'm just.
Wait, hold on.
Important.
Just chill. How do you have a 16-year-old child?
How? I gave birth to her. She's there. She's
a human being, 16.
She's really great. She's a great girl.
Whatever you're doing to look this good, do it every day.
Evolve.
You.
And twice
evolve.
on Sundays.
Yo, Evolve. Y'all ladies better come. Check us out.
I know somebody who's at Evolve.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you trying to say they don't look as good as this?
No, she does.
Okay.
She does.
Result oriented all the time.
Shout out to Stacey.
Be bigger than your excuses. Guys, I was trying to drive to a point to say,
Oh, right.
My daughter, I'll play certain songs in the car and I'm like, this is a tune. And these kids just ain't vibing. Like maybe my younger ones, because, they look up to mommy more. But this other girl, the 16 has got her own identity.
Right.
She's not trying to be mom cool. She's not trying to be, my mom is cool. She doesn't even view me as cool.
For her, it's now about what the
One
friends
time
think.
she was
They
even
think
like,
it's cool.
what type of people engage with what type of people listen to your music? She asked me that question.
Nobody.
What type of people watch your TikToks or follow you on Instagram? You know what I mean? Like she asked me that.
It's a whole different demographic now that they're following and that they're listening to.
Yeah, more.
Elsa and I were laughing the other day. I was telling him, like, dude, anytime anybody says 30 years ago, I don't know, my mind goes to the 70s.
Bruh.
Yep.
My mind goes to 1975,
With the program,
76.
you better get.
I didn't realize 30 years ago is just 1995.
Bruh.
Like,
Yeah.
how?
30 years ago was
That's when Tupac died, what,
96.
96.
Yeah, 29 years with it.
This still doesn't make any sense to me.
Yep.
It still doesn't. Because I remember 95.
Dude, remember the stories like when your dad is telling a story? You know, 40 years ago when I was in... Oh, me and this man have been friends for like 30-something years. And you think it's a really long time. But then now you've got friends who you've been friends with for more than 30 years.
Bruh.
You see what I mean? Time is flying like that.
This really scares me. I mean, I woke up just randomly about a month ago. So I take a shower and I'm applying lotion on my face. So I brush my beard. I'm like, oh wait, I got a little
Gray beard.
no, but I did not realize it was at that point. I'm like, oh, this little thing, yeah,
It's not coming out.
brush it off again. Doesn't come off. I'm like, it's pretty stubborn. And I'm like,
Right.
wait, one goddamn minute.
Yep.
That's
The
a great
grades are coming in. I think the best thing is just to embrace the growth.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because ultimately you are wiser. You are probably wealthier. Well, I mean, you should be. You are probably wealthier. You're wiser. You won't make the same mistakes that you did. And your life
Hopefully.
there's more quality to your life. And there should be with growth. And if you find that those things are not really in place, then there's elements of your life that you need to check to say, where do I need growth? Where am I not growing at the pace that I should be? You know what I mean? And it's okay sometimes to lag behind a little. It's the same even when you see children. When you see 5-year-olds, you're like, all 5-year-olds should be able to do this by 5 years old. If your child is not doing that, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with them or whatever. You know, it's just different paces for different people. So you just have to be able to take a pause, analyze your life and start to check and say, what about this and what about this? Because time is moving. I'm not getting any younger. What am I putting in place? What are my investments? When I die, what do I want to be remembered for?
Right.
What mark do I want to leave? And all of that stuff. So I feel like let's embrace growth and let's not age shame, like, oh, well, now you're old. Like,
Ageism.
yes, because you're also going there. If you even get there, you should consider yourself lucky. So you
Blessed.
can't shun an old person or an older person and say,
Like Elson.
yeah,
Yeah.
that one is old. You know, like, have you even gotten there?
got great beards now.
Do you know if God will give you the time to even celebrate that age? You know what I mean?
Also,
Remember,
getting
I don't remember you being this wise the last time that we, for real. And
That's the
this is what
growth.
it did.
the growth. 3 years is a long time, bro.
You're dropping jams.
I mean, I have
And gems.
the Ice Queen. The gems need to be left behind.
Ice.
Thank you.
Also, you forgot to add run your race. A lot of times we're comparing ourselves to others.
Which
Because
is
Elsa
deadly
drives a
mistake.
Merc. I should also be driving a Merc at this age.
Can you stop?
Oh, look. Do you remember how you exposed me when I bought a car?
Can you stop? I don't mention my car for a reason.
Oh, but you mentioned mine for a reason.
What car is it? I didn't see.
Cleo, all these things you mentioned, these things like Elson is saying, you sound totally different from the last time we had you.
You do.
And then last week, your birthday, I'm sure you had all these reflections as you were celebrating that age, weren't you?
Yeah, kind of. I kind
Are
of
you-
had them before. I mean, I'm in this age. I've been this age before.
Are there
You-
things that you feel you should have achieved by now, but you haven't?
A hit song?
I'm not
Been
a
there, done that. Come on.
song.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Are you
Because
clear?
I feel like hit song doesn't make an artist.
Cleo, focus on my question now.
song doesn't make
Ignore,
sense.
ignore Elson.
Why?
What was your question? Oh, are the things that
Are
I
there
feel like
things
I've
that you
not
feel you
accomplished?
should have achieved by now, but you haven't?
Not really. No. I think it's just about perception. It's about how you view things. You know, Elson views a hit song as success,
yeah.
you know, as an achievement. So I don't perceive it that way. You know what I mean? You know, when you look at a graph, okay, a graph goes like that. And once it reaches a certain point, it's either you have to sustain that point, but from that tip, it starts to drop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you maintain a linear, then it just keeps on going. You know what I mean?
Which is you.
So I'm not into peaks and highs and dips and highs. From the time I've been introduced to the scene, the public scene, I've been there. And it's been 10 plus years.
Yeah.
And I'm there. I'm on your TV screen. I'm on your baby's diapers. I'm on your teenagers' pads. I'm on your billboards. And I've done it all. I've done sports TV. I've done musical TV. I've done, name it in the entertainment industry. So I'm just looking forward to what's next for me. What does God have in store for me? And I'm just excited about the next move and the next music. And my music is more about inspiration. It's
Hallelujah.
not for an ear that wants to party all the time or you want vibes all the time. There is a vibe, but it's a different vibe. It's something that I also want that you can listen to with your kids in the car and not have to cringe or have to turn down. Not to say I want to be your role model, your kid's role model. No, that's not the position I'm vying for.
Cleo?
It's just what I want to put out.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
You still haven't answered the question, though.
What's the question?
Is there anything
Nothing.
that you would have wanted to achieve that you feel you haven't?
Yes, actually. A Grammy. Oh my God. Grammy.
That was my next question. What's the dream? Yeah.
Yes, those ones, those are two big ones for a musical artist. So those are the only things I can say. I really.
But
really
do you
want
not
to
feel that it is as a result of America dictating to us what?
Or who's supposed to be what?
Yeah.
A little bit, to be honest with you.
Why not a Zamtel Award?
Vote
not
for us, by
Zamtel
the way.
Award.
Vote for us, by
But
the
a
way.
Zamtel Award is not for musicians per se right now. It's
Or Ngoma Award.
Or Ngoma Award?
and Ngoma Award. Are they even still running?
Yo.
November.
Yeah,
I was the host. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cleo. I thought we were friends like
November.
that. I thought you and I were friends like that.
It's not
I have
about
no
you.
idea. It's not.
I'm so touched. I'm so
It's not about you.
That's good to know that they're still running. And Ngoma Award would also be nice, because that's a continental award and it's got the prestige, which is beautiful. But I'm just being honest right now. Despite whether I've been programmed or conditioned that way due to the way we've been raised and what we've been fed, it just is what it is.
My last question about Icon. How much are they paying you? How much is David paying you?
Guys, let's stop asking about people's salaries. Why you want to count my money?
I'm just
Why are you counting her pockets? Hey, have you? We're gonna double in and out of Cleo. Have you seen that Tyler Perry is being sued
That lawsuit is not making sense to me.
for sexual harassment?
I read those messages and they're not making sense to me.
Listen, you know what's crazy is I read them in Madia's voice.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh gosh. So
point-
that's still Tyler Perry's biggest character till date.
Yeah, I think so
it's
too.
just so iconic.
That lawsuit is not making any sense.
No, it's not making sense. It's not going anywhere.
He was invited to Tyler's house. Then Tyler snuck into the bed with him. He rejects the advances, but still accepts more invites to his house after that.
And also in Tyler's defense, remember there's the messages where the guys, Tyler texts him saying, you need somebody to hold you. Remember that message? Mm-hmm. Hold you. I think he insinuates sexually.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really, mean Tyler wanted to sleep with him. Like a defense lawyer can easily find a hole in that one. You know what I mean?
Just chosen the very mild of it. They were like very.
I really don't think there's any message that says thing Tyler wanted to read.
How many screenshots did you see?
Maybe 10. There's more?
Yeah, there's more. There's almost like 30 of them.
I was reading them from the shade room, so
Okay.
yeah. So how much is Kazadi paying you?
But she's not gonna tell you, bro. Okay. So let it go.
Okay, and just
But it's sad though that it feels like people are just in it for the shakedown. I wrote a blog the other time about
Like in it for the what?
the shakedown.
they just want money from
Small
Tyler.
money.
From Tyler.
Not
Perry.
David Kazadi. no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ah,
like it's just a shakedown.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really followed the case because I've just noticed.
It's new actually.
I know. I saw like maybe a day, 2 ago.
Yeah.
Where there was like some screenshots. I think I saw it on Twitter and I said, I cannot get into another. What did this guy do? And then who did he do it to? And I said,
I don't deal much.
How do you given what's happening like with Diddy and
it's another one I disengaged with.
now Fed Joe?
Serious?
Yeah, he's being sued for $20 million.
For
The only thing I know about Fat Joe is he's got a dope podcast right now.
Yeah. Everybody's got a podcast now. Is that the one with Jadakiss? So Jadakiss,
That's
right?
the one with Jadakiss, yes.
Yeah.
I saw one episode and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
It is.
And that's the last I saw of Fat Joe. And I was like, if I catch another one, then well and good.
It is.
you do a really cool hip hop podcast.
I've been told that a lot of times.
Yeah.
How do you avoid getting caught up, like with everything that's happening there?
In everybody else. Like, I just feel like I don't want to invest my energy in finding out who did what.
No. That's not what I'm asking. How do you, in your personal life, avoid getting caught up in anything, given how people are deliberately always trying to, if you're a person with a name,
They look for you.
right? If you're a person with a name, even if there's no case, they'll try to manufacture one. How do you move in a way that you avoid getting caught up in any mess?
Well, I just stay in my lane, I wake up in the morning, I go to the gym, or I take my kids to school, I mind my affairs, I think that's the biggest thing. Just mind your affairs. Be so engrossed in minding those affairs. And I think the rest always just sort of tends to fall off. But if you are too invested sometimes in affairs that are not yours, you will get caught up in something here.
Because you know what always comes to mind? And I keep making reference to the same thing. So this one guy is at the gym. He's working out. He's at East Park. And his aunt or his mom keeps trying to call him. So he's not paying attention to the phone. But the calls are relentless. They keep coming. So he figures, you know what, let me pick up. This might be something important. So he picks up and she says, your son has had an accident, right? He's just got burnt. And they proceed to send him photos of the son. He had just gotten burnt by hot water. So the dude flies out of the gym. He is rushing to his car. Meanwhile, he's scrolling on his phone. And one fan sees him, yells out his name. The guy just looks up to him, just looks back at him, and he nods his head because his mind is
the situation.
Gets in his car, goes to attend that. And now this fan feels a certain way that this person did not give me the attention that I feel a celebrity should give a fan, and didn't acknowledge me, and then goes on Twitter and he says his side of the story, and now this guy gets dragged. You know who I'm talking about, right?
No.
Slap D.
No ways.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
Years ago.
Like 5 So he told this story.
Sad.
And he gets dragged to a point where he had to apologize. So yes, he was minding his own business. He was not going out to deliberately.
He was not looking for anything.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, being dragged is another thing, If you're talking about that, you will have your fair share of that as long as you're in the limelight, And at any point in time, it can befall anybody who's in the public eye, to be honest with you. So
do you stand your ground? Do you apologize? How do you get past that?
I mean, you deal with everything that will come at the time it comes. You can't prepare so meticulously for a catastrophe or for a tragedy or for a situation like that. It's as it comes, you deal with it and you just pray for the grace to deal with it at that particular time. And at the end of the day, you will be vindicated when
the truth comes out. Eventually, the truth always comes out. Yeah.
It just has to.
But you know what they say? Nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining.
That's very true.
So I've got a blog on Medium where I wrote something specific to this. When this lawyer called Richard Spohr accidentally posted his nude on social media.
Oh, wow.
So there's maybe about 4 ways that I feel you might be able to deal with things like this. So the first is you control the narrative, just like politicians do, etc. The second is apologizing, which is what Slap did. The third is going underground. You disappear for a while. Zambians have got a very short attention span.
Yeah.
Before you know it, in a week, somebody else has done something and people move on. The fourth is honesty.
Yeah.
Just be honest. If it was an accident, if you deliberately leaked your sex tape or whatever it is, you just be honest. Like, hey guys, listen, I wanted the fame. I wanted my 15 minutes. And so I did this.
Yeah.
The fifth, is you can play the victim. The sixth, which I like personally, is humor. You joke about it.
Yeah, I get you. Which is why it's a sales comedy, because it's something that's relatable.
Laugh at
to it.
yourself.
Those are very
Laugh at
brilliant
yourself,
points.
yeah.
Those are very, very brilliant points. And that's a tactical approach, which obviously sometimes when you're in the middle of the chaos, you do need a team that will be able to help you, remind you of those points. Like, listen, you settle down. We're going to handle this in this way. Okay. We're going to be honest about this. We're going to do this and this, or we're going to listen. We're going to take this approach. We're going to play the victim. And that's why I said you deal with what happens at the time that it happens, because a different situation might require different reactions. Sometimes it will require you to be, comical about it. And sometimes it will require you to be honest about it. So those are all valid points. And I like that.
Some celebrities avoid scandal by being quiet, but then I think the king of being quiet right now is your husband.
Really?
Ah, gosh, that guy. Where is he? What is he up to?
The person who also avoids a lot of this drama is an artist like Chef 187.
Chef 187, yeah.
No,
but I mean, like, Chef is even in the limelight still. But your husband is nowhere to be seen right now.
Yeah, but you guys have seen his journey. He's all about his business.
He's lecturing now, right?
Yeah, he's all about his business. I can't speak about him. You have to interview him for yourself.
I've been trying to get through to We'll try through you today.
Business out here.
Trying.
Sorry?
Why are you putting his business?
No, all I'm saying is what is put up on social media. So there's nothing that people don't already know.
He's put up
He's
on
lecturing in
social
Dubai
media
still, right?
What he's put up on social media is what
Those
he
she doesn't
wants
wanna say your
people
question.
to know.
No, she's not answer because she knows this is in the public
No,
domain.
she's not going to answer. She would have by
He's
now.
lecturing in Dubai, right?
I think if somebody was to go on a podcast,
You see?
right, and they ask like, "Oh, so what's Cleo up to?" They'll be like,
Cleo's not here.
interviewing now, or you know what I mean. So I think it's only fair that you reach him and you bring him in this hot seat, and he'll answer
You said he's around, right?
all your burning questions.
How long is he around for? How long is he around for?
No comment.
You want to keep pushing?
No, I rest my case. Cleo, there's gosh, I keep going back to Icon because
You guys still together though, right?
Yes, of course we are.
that's a very good question. You need to know because she's avoiding the question a little too much.
Too much.
Cleo, I know there's going to be ballad. There's going to be Kazadi. Kazadi is going to play, of course, a bit of a harsh judge.
That's being paid.
No. I'm asking this because I want to know. She just announced that she's going to be a judge on this.
Yeah.
What's going to be your strategy?
I mean, what the hell? Exactly the point, right?
It's my last question, but I'm going to be serious. It's my last
It's
question.
a hot topic. We need to talk
Because
about it.
Cleo can be one of two things. She can be the harsh judge or she can be the softer judge.
Yeah.
What's going to be your strategy?
I mean, I don't think that's something.
Why does it have to be a strategy?
Yeah, right? That's the point. I think you just
All these idols think they employ a strategy.
Who?
They do.
We've
Wait.
all seen what David's character has been.
Right.
And I think Ballard has also been on the show. So for me, I'm going in as me.
Exactly. Why can't she be herself?
What you see is what you get, you know?
I work in the entertainment industry. On such shows, I know what goes on behind the scenes. So I'm trying to find out. She's working a strategy of just being herself.
Wait,
You are a host on the show.
wait, hold on. Like what?
Dude, have you seen
You
what's
are Ryan Secrets, our news.
No, hold on. I want him to answer the question.
idols, let's say?
You said you are in the entertainment industry,
Yes.
and so you know this.
Yes.
So tell me, based on
What I'm
first
saying is
hand,
sometimes judges come with strategies. You know what I mean? Like, okay, there's these two personalities already. So I think let me be this kind of person. And that's a strategy. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to understand what she's bringing to the table.
But
is there a strategy to it or not? That's
get
all.
you.
But here's the thing. You and I have always on this here podcast
Yes.
talked about authenticity. Do you not think that people are able to see through and act? So if you're going to have a strategy, good cop, bad cop, people can see through that. And now here's the thing. That is one thing that easily can tank your show. When people cannot identify you to who you now want to play.
Yeah.
If they know Cleo to be one person, and now Cleo, let me finish my point.
Okay.
And now Cleo is here saying, not in this lifetime or the next. They'll be like,
That's so clear. No.
that's my
I'm
point.
not saying Cleo should be someone else.
No, but your
strategy
there's a
could-
strategy.
Yes, the strategy could be maybe to eliminate rappers and remain as singers, or eliminate singers and remain as rappers. So I'm trying to understand what.
I don't have any rapping
You see
conviction.
what I mean? Yeah.
But let her be herself.
She can be herself and eliminate people a certain way. So I'm just trying to find out she's sort of anything that she's bringing that's going to be different from what's already there.
I think the key thing that I want to bring is I'm really looking forward to meeting the talents, and I'm looking forward to, I think there's a section where we kind of coach our own set of artists. And I was telling myself, I want whichever set of artists I'm coaching, like the idol must be from my set. You know what I mean? And that's all I've thought about so far.
There's a show that I absolutely loved. Rhythm and Flow.
Oh, I enjoyed that one as well. Oh, and the girls were killing the guys on that show.
My God.
The girls were killing the guys.
It's so funny because the minute that I saw, what's that, the guy with the dreadlocks that who eventually won?
Yeah.
The minute I saw him, I realized he would win. You know the guy that I'm talking about? He reminded me of, did you watch it?
No, my brother told me about it.
This is the last season.
No, the first season, the one that had T.I. and Cardi B.
Yes,
the guy that won that.
I didn't finish it.
Oh my God.
I don't know why I felt like a girl was going to win it, because like the first few episodes I saw, the girls were like, they're really bringing the A game. They're bringing the fire.
The concept
Beautiful.
is there were 3 judges. There was, what's the guy who his wife left him because a Jamaican chick was whining on him.
Who that?
The guy with the hat with the number 3 on it, gospel singer.
Chance the Rapper.
So there's Chance, there's Cardi B, there's T.I. So they each go to their hometowns and identify, say, 15 people that they think they have it, and all those 15 people, I'm just saying 15 as a random number, it could be less than that. Okay. They all make it to the main show. Right, so let's say you've got Cleo, you have got Yo Maps, you have got Sheffy. You each go to your hometown, you get 15 people, and all 15 people now come through to the competition, and they now battle.
Yeah,
each other.
I get it. Okay. All right, I think I should take some time to watch it.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
that'll
be
amazing.
some cool homework for me to do before getting into the icon judge position.
That was incredible.
I will check it out. Thanks for that.
And on each episode, they had guest musical judge. On one, Fat Joe would come. On the other one, Snoop Dogg would come, etc.
Because then that's a mediator between all the tension you have among the three of you.
Because you're biased to the people that you have gone and chosen, right?
Course.
And so is, say, Yo Maps in that instance is biased to the people he's chosen, etc. So you'd have a guest judge on each single.
That's nice. I really like that.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
I'd like to tie 2 things that you 2 spoke about. You with the hits, and you with you're on billboards, you're on, all these endorsement deals, and a lot of people will come at you. I've seen like on your page talking about, and they'll be debating without you even being part of the conversation. People talking about how is Cleo still relevant without hits? You know what I mean? And you've been consistent with the endorsements.
She doesn't have hits.
Sorry?
She doesn't have hits?
No, it's been a while, is what they're saying.
Maybe I should start a school.
You know what I mean? Like, what's your winning formula with this? I know there's consistency in it.
Yeah.
But what really do you think it is about you that a lot of corporates still want from you, even without the hits?
Yeah.
You get am I making sense?
Yeah, I sort of get it.
Yeah.
I think,
Don't say yeah to that because you've got hits. I don't know why you're agreeing. But anyway, no, the point is, I'm joking.
Music is a very subjective thing. You know what I mean? It's a very subjective thing. Very, very subjective.
Yeah.
I could tell you, we had this thing, remember, where we said, play your greatest song of all time.
Right.
And if I asked you today, you would tell me one song. He would tell me a different song.
Right.
He would tell me a different
And we'll all try to justify it.
And we'll all try to justify why that is our greatest song of all time. So at the end of the day, I'm not here to argue with him to say, no, but I've got it's if that's your opinion, that's...
Respect it.
Yeah, I'm going to respect it. You go to sleep well, I go to sleep well at night, But ultimately, to be honest with you, I can't say there's any formula that I say, guys, this is the formula, this is how you do it, and this is how you do it. It is truly about the consistency. It is truly about growing from one point to another and evolving and not getting caught up in one moment or element, and take criticism in the same breath that you take compliments. So if you let the compliments get to your head, it'll mess you up. If you let the criticism get to your heart, it'll mess you up. So compliment me, criticize me, I just keep moving. Remember the linear graph I told you about? That's where we're at. Compliments, criticism, you have to learn. That's the biggest key thing.
And this is what I want
to learn.
I'm in the industry, but you're doing way more, and I want to learn from you so I can get to where you
Run
are.
your own race.
No. I'll run my own race, but there's things I can learn from her to help me get to my finish line.
You're not
if
pretty.
any.
You're not pretty.
Okay. Oh, Cleo, do you think that is it?
No, go ahead and ask what you want to ask, first of all.
So the question is about...
Let me tell you something.
It's about being pretty?
That plays a big... Even when you're in a supermarket... No, I don't know why you guys are... Even when you're in a supermarket, good-looking people have it way better in life.
They can skip the line and no one to complain.
That's also a subjective thing.
I will fight you on this one. Let me tell you.
You need to see it in the comment section.
Let me tell you.
Some people might find me beautiful. Other people might not find me beautiful.
It's subjective.
There is nobody.
Beauty lies in their eyes.
Of the beer holder. Let me tell you something. There is nobody who does not find you beautiful. Let me tell you one thing. There are two kinds of people in this world who know how truly harsh the world is. Broke men and ugly women. If you listen, if you are ugly, because beauty is a currency. I've seen pretty people that God, why are you laughing?
But today in 2025, buy pretty in 2025. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can buy pretty in 2025. So
precisely, that means you see value in it.
No, but my point is beauty standards change at all times. You know what I mean?
Cleo, let me tell you. See, that is the position that you're taking. That's beauty privilege right there. Just like male privilege, they don't realize
No.
in the moment. Let me tell you again from a guy, one of the male privileges that we don't realize in the moment. Let me talk to a guy. When was the last time you took a yango? In the evening.
I haven't taken a yango in a long time.
Yeah, whenever that was. You do remember that, right?
In the evening.
Take your mind back.
Yeah, okay. I'm taking it back, yeah.
Cool. When was the last time that you took a yango in the evening?
And it was a female driver.
No, never mind that you were worried about your safety.
No, never.
Bingo. When you're a woman, you are very aware of it.
Yeah.
That even if I don't have money, there is something else that a male driver can take from me. You can be raped. So that's male privilege, where you can get into an Uber or a yango and not... That's the last thing you're thinking about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So even too, when you're pretty, you don't realize it.
That is a privilege.
Moment. Let me tell you, if you go to a club with a group of your girlfriends, if you are the one that is holding the purses, you are the precious of the group. Did you watch Precious?
I've held purses before.
I would like to see the group of friends that you had then. They must have looked like Jessica Alba.
All my girls are pretty.
They must have looked like Jessica Alba. But anyway, that's pretty privileged.
No, I get what you mean. And to be honest with you, if that's the compliment, thank you. But I still stand on my point to say beauty is still a very subjective thing. I believe. There is a standard that people have put out there because you know what? If you're moving in the world, okay, I'm raising kids. And it's the world that places that on you. I don't think I can go out there and say, oh, I'm the most beautiful girl in the world. You know what I mean? People say that. So it's their perception of me. You understand? I'm moving through life just as a person.
Okay, so what's your definition of beauty?
I also have my every single person has their insecurities.
What's yours?
Every single person
What's yours?
has their insecurities.
What's yours?
Come on, Elsa.
I can't put it out there.
She wouldn't want to arm her enemies.
Yes,
Come on.
Exactly. Then they'll start making.
I think I have a few.
And then they'll
I won't
start.
say it,
What?
but I've got a few.
Tell me. Okay, tell me.
I told him that. Do you remember?
What?
Oh yeah.
Tell me.
No.
I want to know.
Have you ever
Can I bring it up?
No, don't.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a scenario where you introduce
An insecurity.
your girl to your friends or family and they say, hey, as long as you're happy.
Hey, listen. She must have a very good heart.
Or when you introduce your girl to your boys, before they comment, you'll be like, baby, stand up and turn around. I need them to see what I saw.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I think with males and females also, we view things differently.
What do you guys view?
Things very differently.
Besides the wallet.
It's like, I think a men's standard of beauty and female standard of beauty is completely different.
Answer the question.
What do you mean?
What do you guys see? What do you look for?
For us, we like to see like a sort of like, if you're just clean, you're well kempt, your nails are not chipped, your hair is nicely brushed. I mean, for females, female to female, how we view each other, it can be your outfit, it can be your shoes, like everything is just well put together. And there's just this aura about you. To us, that is like, we perceive that as that's a beautiful energy. That's a beautiful person.
So that's what you look for in a guy?
No. This is like
female to female. What about female to guy?
Female to guy, it's very difficult for me because all of those things have become a bit warped for me, especially because I've been married for 6 years now.
Before you got
married.
married.
I only view my husband as
okay. Let's say before you got married.
Man
that's okay. No, before you got
Cleo.
married. Well, hold on. Before you got married.
Before I got married.
Yeah. What would you look at?
I was never really looking. You know what I mean? I was never.
He just
really
found
looking.
you.
Yeah, he found me.
So what is this that you see in him that you liked?
It was how he treated me. Ultimately.
So that's never how he looked.
I mean, he was a well-kept guy, guy, and
so that counts
very
for something.
smart. Yes,
so that counts for something too?
It counts for a lot.
How about money?
Money at the time we were so young.
No, but
so there
matter.
was no really money-oriented stuff.
Does it matter?
I think it depends on the phase or the levels or stage maybe that the woman is at. And the type of woman. I don't think every woman is after money.
Let's say the phase where you're at now.
I can't say because I can't relate.
Does money matter?
Well, it matters to us because we're raising a family. You know what I mean?
So it does.
It does matter.
It does.
Okay. It gets us around.
Wait. So in the unlikely event that he loses his income, does it make whatever you have unstable?
Not at all. Not when you're in my position. Not when you're married.
What position
guys?
is it?
Marriage is totally different from,
dating.
It comes with a whole lot. There's so much. You're one. So if I don't have the money, he doesn't have the money or whatever, you're one. You know what I mean? And it also it's something you can't explain unless you have to be in it. It's one of those, you have to live it to know it.
But do you know one of the leading causes of divorces?
What is it?
Finances.
Is it?
It is.
I can imagine how that is. But it also just boils down to the foundation, which is where you were digging at. It's the foundation. What was the one thing that got you there? If it was money that attracted you, so when the money goes, it's highly unlikely that it would work out.
But
or if it was a key factor, maybe that's something that you've not ironed out over time, because communication is a very key process. When things are not ironed out and communicated properly and they start to pile up, it then blows up and you might say, oh, they divorced because of he lost his money. But maybe, she did this. It might not be just that, it's probably a lot more that was there that we are not privy to. And that's just what marriages are.
But do you think when there's no money in a marriage, you're prone to a lot more fights?
I don't think so, because I've seen a lot of couples that barely have any money and they don't even fight.
How do you know they don't fight?
Well, every couple fights.
Yeah, we say they barely fight.
But
I'm
not
saying how would you know?
constantly fighting,
Because they can find happiness in the little that they have, Olsen.
Yes.
In the little what?
They can find happiness in the little that they have.
Guys, let me tell you, I have seen...
People have got different levels of being content.
Yes.
Some people are just
I
like,
agree.
I'm not content here. We want to go here. We want to be here. We want to be... Others are just like, we've got a roof over our head. We've got this. Our kids are in school. We've got this stable income.
We're good.
We're good.
Listen, guys, I agree. And here's the thing. This is why I have always said, I feel most of the people that I speak to really... they want to sound politically correct. What you two people are saying is what sounds correct. I have seen instances where a child gets sent back from school because of school fees.
Okay, now you're talking about that bad.
That's precisely what I'm saying.
Okay.
I have seen instances where you are coming back from work and the landlord has thrown your furniture out. I have seen instances where children are being laughed at by other children at school because their clothes are torn or they don't come with lunch boxes. They come home crying to the mom and the mom now tells them, when you don't have money, in instances like that, you're prone to a lot more fights than if all those things are taken care of.
No, that is
you will have fights, but it will not be about those things. Hence why I'm saying when you don't have money, you have got more points that would lead you to fighting than if you did.
Very true. There's lots more tension, I guess. That's
Yeah, that's your point. Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Kalalamiti.
Oh, God.
No, you already mentioned it. Well camped and smart. You've already told us.
Do you have a crush on him?
I beg. Next question. Also, ask me another question.
You've already said.
Wait.
No, can we move on?
Ask me another question.
No. Jesus.
Listen, I'm writing a book and I'll have all these questions. So I know you'll be the first one to buy the book.
Definitely. I want to read the manuscript before even print. I'll be reading that one, yeah.
This phone number.
She's going to give it to me.
Yeah, be careful with this one.
I'll give him the phone number.
Yeah, please be careful with them.
No problem.
You don't want him on the podcast?
Huh?
You don't want him on the podcast?
I did not say that. But you're like a dog with a bone.
No, listen.
I know he probably knows, like, these are probably burning questions for a lot of people. But like I said,
Yes.
I'm writing a book.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
No, they are not.
Do you read the comments in our...
Let me tell you. Are you telling me?
Have you noticed?
See, gang, like,
Have you noticed how many times her episode promo pops up on our timeline? The notifications. People asking questions about the 10 pin you're asking from. Yeah.
From who?
That clip.
From who?
yes.
The one with bump.
No, wait.
Somebody asked me that recently. It's like, we did it some time back.
Yeah. Please bring Cleo
So
back.
you are telling me.
That was a fun game.
You're telling me, and we're going to do it again. You're telling me that there are people who,
Right.
in this economy,
Synconomy.
are sitting wondering, I wonder how Cleo met her husband.
Check our comments.
This world cannot be complete without that information.
Have you noticed how? After every episode,
I need to know how Cleo.
Have you noticed how after every episode we have, you guys didn't ask this, you guys didn't ask that, you guys didn't talk about this.
But Kalenga,
I bring this up because over 100 people asked, and I thought, let me ask on their behalf. Over 100 people, check the comments.
let me tell you, you need to. Cleo.
I've got some aspirin in the car. Bring him some aspirin, please.
Cleo.
Yeah, bo.
One thing I keep telling this friend of mine here is do not play to the gallery. It depends. Let me finish my point. I do not care if 2,000 people ask me, I want to know how Cleo met her. How is that going
Elson,
to...
don't play.
Wait.
Don't play too smart.
Wait.
How many times have we asked our guests how they met their spouse and they tell us interesting stories? That's what the podcast's about.
No.
Interesting stories. Listen, if she wanted, she would have told us, but she doesn't. And I'll leave it at that.
Ever had an episode where it's just the two of you?
All the time, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good then.
I see what you just did there.
Merely.
I see what you just did there.
Merely.
Do you pay attention to politics? World politics?
Here
I know
and
that's
there,
safer.
Here and there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I'm driving and I'm probably logged into the BBC or and I'm listening to the news on the radio or whatever. I like to listen to the radio when I drive because that's the one time that I'll just get
in tune with what's
those
happening.
Updates and
What radio station do you listen to?
A bit of rock, a bit of hot, a bit of Phoenix, a bit of Q sometimes. I think there's Lusaka radio as well these days. See, Money Radio is popping up here and there.
How about Chete?
BBC? As a household, we do BBC just as a standard because
How about Chete?
Daddy said we need to be listening to the news in the morning.
Cleo? Chete FM?
What's that?
Chete.
Chete.
Yes,
guy.
No, I've never listened to Chete.
Have you heard of it?
Is it in Lusaka?
No, it's not.
Oh, no.
But you've never heard of it?
No.
I'd like to put you on.
Okay, put me on.
Incredible station.
Okay, is it online?
Yes.
Yeah, if it's online, then it's good because I do that on Sundays.
So just pause. Is Chete online?
Yeah, it's online. Check Radio Garden.
Yes. Radio Garden.
Really? Are you telling me he's the owner of Chete Radio?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, thank you. When you're on radio, which one did you work on?
I worked at Rock and I worked at Phoenix.
Is that why you listen to them?
To a certain degree, but it's not really always about because I worked there.
Would you ever get back into radio, though?
She does not have a face for radio. You do. She belongs in front of the camera.
So podcast.
I was sure.
So podcast.
Gob is dying today.
Nah, he's having a good time today. But would you get into podcasting, though?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
So apart from rapping, what else are you doing right now?
I'm getting my marketing degree.
She just told you this.
No. That's, yes, school, but I'm thinking on the business end of things, work end of things.
Yeah.
What else is happening in my life?
In consultation, a lot of.
What does that look like?
Okay, so good.
Yeah, and besides that, well, I did dive into it hectically at one point, but then I was like, you know what, let me just get my degree, then I can properly dive into it. For now, we're just using the Cleo Ice Queen brand as our sort of little lab rat that we're working with. So just maximizing, also pushing out this, the album rollout that is coming. The album is called I Am Her. It's a final hip hop offering. It's a very empowering type of album. And that's what we're kind of working on with my team, and just branding that, seeing how we're going to market it, distribute it, and
Last album.
all of those things. Last hip hop offering.
It means she's going to diversify. Well, here's what I want to find out. I was listening to, I'm going to give you the long roundabout way to this. I was listening to the new Lil Wayne album.
Everybody's condemning that album.
And it's a horrible, horrible, horrible album.
That's very subjective.
Well, I'm just talking about people and X are saying, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to it.
I've never even bothered.
I was on a 2-hour flight twice. And my take on that is because I feel you do not see the growth in his music. I feel he is still stuck speaking to teenagers and children the way that Drake is. And that is a lot different to, like, when you listen to Jay-Z, you can literally see the shift in his music where he's growing with his audience, where he's talking about making money, when he's talking about leaving an inheritance for his children, etc. And I'd love for that to also reflect this podcast and who we speak to. And in all of that, I have made a conscious effort and decision that any business venture that I go into goes beyond me. And this only started when I had my son, right? Where if I open up a company, whatever shares that I have go into a trust that my son is the sole beneficiary of. So how have you prepared that for yourself?
Well, there's a lot of that's sort of still in the pipeline phases that I can't really dive into completely. But I get exactly what you're talking about. And that is the whole purpose of this being the last hip hop offering, because my mind is elsewhere. My, interests have sort of shifted, I love music. It'll always be a part of me. But I think those are things that I can't really dive into completely, but it's also sort of part of that. Yeah. There's a lot of investment and especially with us as artists, our story and whatnot. But I also want to play a role in giving back to this community or this career that has seen me to where I am today.
Right.
But it's only right that I do it when the time is right. Because sometimes when your timing is off, things might not have the impact that you want them to. Experience sometimes is the best teacher. And as much as we can learn from everybody, no matter what age they are, when I get past a certain age, like say when I'm over 40, God gives me the time, I would have so much more to give to the young 18, 20-year-olds that are coming into the game, 25-year-olds. I'll have so much more to mentor, to give back. And because I've also set myself up in a certain way and it's a success story. And that way, that's why Jay-Z is able to speak like that, because he's a success story. He's a billionaire. And now when he speaks, people will listen to him. You get what I mean? So right now, my key thing is, yes, we have our investments as a family and whatnot. But on my career part, it's just like working towards being as successful as I can be, because I cannot give from an empty cup or a cup that is half full. So It's just filling up my cup to the brim. And when my cup is full to the brim, meaning all my affairs are sorted, even with my kids and my family. And then in that regard, I can then pour back into many others because the cup is overflowing.
Is the cup ever full?
Mine is going to overflow.
No, but my point is, at what point do you know that my cup is full?
I think you can just tell because you have so much more to give and it doesn't really feel like, not that you feel like, oh, I'm above everybody, or oh, I'm the messiah of this thing, but it's sort of also like, it's you will know, you will see it, because there's abundance there, you know.
Keyword abundance.
Yeah, keyword is abundance.
Abundance, yeah.
Outside looking in, some people who have less than what you have would already feel like Cleo's cup is full.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Hence why I said, is the cup ever full? When you are in the position, you do not see it that way.
Yeah.
But when you look at it from someone else who has got less than you, like I've said, they'll be like, but she has precisely what I want.
I get what you mean.
So it depends with also who.
Or phrased another way, there's people with less than you giving more than you. Do you kind of, Elson, right?
No.
Okay, but then there is that scenario as well.
I guess he says like people who feel like you are at a certain position and this is where it's at, like this is.
Yeah.
Right. Like you feel your cup is not full right now.
But
you're
other
going to ask
feeling it
somebody
as.
Precisely.
Yeah. I can't really say whether it's full, not full, or whatever, but.
Listen, Elsa, she's got her own timeline.
Yes, there's a timeline. So there's also strategy to how I have to move and operate as a business person, also as a marketer. There has to be strategy.
And everybody has their own
You might
blueprint.
have a burnout. You might have a full cup, but you don't want to have a burnout. And I'm still, like, my plate is still full with so many things that I'm trying to lock in, finish, complete, and et cetera, et cetera. And once those things are locked in, complete, and delivered, then we take the next step.
I would encourage people, and this is something that I think it's the second time that I'm speaking about this, to actively look at and consider getting a trust over a will, in terms of how much control that you have over that, in terms of how much is able to be taken by the state and be taken by other people, in terms of what the court can contest and cannot contest.
Yeah.
There is, the amount of control that you can have over your trust.
Yeah.
I've been sitting with my lawyers almost every other month, to a point where you are able to specify that when my child turns this age, give them X amount. When they get married, give them X amount. If they graduate, give them this. So it is impressive.
Under the trust is like an umbrella, which you can have several of your investments under there that
Absolutely
are constantly generating income. You can borrow against the trust, and the trust is worth this much. And yeah, I think I've been looking into that, but I'm just right at the surface, so I don't really have much
Speak to a lawyer.
intel on that.
Yeah, and if you've got property or investments, for example, if you donate them into the trust, they stop belonging to Cleo and they belong to the trust.
Yeah.
So if you pass away today and you owed ABSA 1 million kwacha, they cannot attach that property because it's not under your name. It belongs to the trust. And you can specify that I do not want the trustee to be able to sell the property, but they can only benefit from the rentals, for example.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, Elson teaching us how to beat the system, Archie. Thank you for that. You just did that.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, very good. I'll definitely do
Send
some
my
research
invoice.
into that. I'll send you mine. For what? For my time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it cancels, eh?
It does.
Yeah, thank you.
So how much is Kazadi paying you?
Have you been paying attention to what's just dealing with Iran? And this makes me nervous. This makes me nervous. This orange dude literally said, give me 2 weeks. 36 hours later, he bombs Iran.
Who, Netanyahu?
No.
Which one? Oh, Trump. Sorry. Yeah. I saw that, yeah.
Bible kazi vele nganje be Bible mkalikuwa na mlungu so close mzangala chebe bwini.
What are you saying about white people?
No, nothing about white people. I just wanted to put it.
Read the
I'm just
Bible.
saying,
All these things are in the Bible. Prophesied.
these things have been,
They were prophesied.
yeah, they were prophesied. So it's
Does it make you nervous?
it's the world we live in, It's the world we live in. I think I'm getting to a point in my life where my heart is compassionate and I feel for these families, and because these are real people that are going through all of these things. And then there's also just so much that is under my control and what I can do about a situation. And that's why I've just taken the stance of it's something that I'm slightly powerless over. And the least I can do is just gain as much knowledge as I can about a situation. But ultimately, my standpoint on that is these are things that have been prophesied. It's a warfare that is like, it's bigger
all
than
this
us,
time.
you know? Yeah, it's bigger than us, and it's been ongoing for a very long time. You know, it will probably outlive us. But all I can say is from where I stand and what I've seen and what I believe so far in the life I've been given is these things have been prophesied and they're there. So we just have to.
So in the
pray for
prophecy,
the best,
in the
you know?
prophecy, what's the end?
What is the end? Is it not the
coming of the
coming
Messiah.
of the Messiah?
So they'll
We're
be
waiting
fighting
for him
until.
to come and save us. Till kingdom come.
I was about to say something extremely nasty.
Don't say
Then I'm
anything
going
extremely
to.
nasty because it's a very sensitive issue.
Which one?
The whole issue.
You missed it, Cleo. I know Elson's mind a little too well.
Okay.
It's a word that came after kingdom.
No,
Cleo, is that
that's not what I wanted to say. That's not what I wanted to say. I was about to take it.
that too? But anyway,
Wait,
Cleo.
I was gonna take it. Okay.
Don't take it there. Yeah.
No, it did get someone's music.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. You
No, just saying.
Not your music.
No.
There's
Whoever's music it is, let's just leave it alone.
a certain slim guy that this guy likes attacking. There's very slim guys in the industry. What do you mean? Did I mention any name?
I didn't say anything else.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Because you're always attacking this guy. That's why I'm not going to mention his name today. Cleo, is there anything that you thought we're going to talk about in terms of your life, your career, your coming into Icon, whatever that we haven't spoken about today?
I think we've pretty much touched on everything. The key things that are happening in my life right now is definitely the Icon, which I'm excited about to play this role and shaping one of our next icons in the world. And also my album that's dropping on the 12th of July.
I Am Her.
What's it called?
It's called I Am Her.
Who?
Her.
Who?
Who I wanted to be.
Which
who
is?
God ordained me to be.
Which is?
Who I can be free to discover and free to explain, not explain, but just be in my own way, in my own liberty. As long as it gives me confidence, it makes me feel good. It can be growth, you know,
Talk about it.
can be family.
Talk about it.
Yeah,
I am that
those
person.
things. So it's about, it's not even just about like a female element. It's just about when you're in your becoming, who do you want to be? So I leave it very, her is just it's sort of like, what is it called? A stand-in for what you feel you want to become.
Right.
Yes. And if you see the music video, oh my God.
For what the title?
For the title track, yes. So there is a track called I Am Her in the album. It opens up the album and it's just...
Where did you shoot the music video?
Huh?
Where did you shoot the video?
We shot the music video right here in Zambia. You know, I'm a very patriotic girl. So...
You don't say.
Yes.
All that traveling and where were you? Was it America? Could have fooled me.
Yeah. Where have I not
Went
been
to
though?
BET, I think.
I've been to like almost all
Did I say that correctly?
continents. I've been to almost all the continents except South America and the other one, the cold one.
Antarctica, Arctic.
Yes. I think that's
What has been your favorite?
very
Continent and country.
hard to say, to be honest. It's very, very hard to say. Country,
Against
I
your
would
head?
say Zambia because this is
Well,
where...
apart from Zambia, because again,
Zambia.
politically correct answers.
Apart from Zambia, I did really like Australia.
Yep.
Yeah, I did really
Where
like...
in Australia did you go?
I was in Perth. I was in Perth.
Guess who else went to Australia?
Who? Oh, wow. Where he dropped out. Is that where he dropped out from?
No.
He actually knows the plane
He knows the plane.
that he took to Australia.
Yeah.
Guys, I remember this Australia thing. It happened even the last time I was here. No, man. Like, honestly.
Elson keeps bringing it back up.
No, Australia was good because I felt like it's a very family
It
person.
is. No, it is. But
Very family friendly.
I was in Perth as well. There's a stark difference, in my opinion. I was predominantly based in Melbourne, and Perth is very quiet. Literally by 9, 10 p.m. that the city is dead. Melbourne, I was up at 2 a.m, walking down this, in the city, and there was a woman who was swallowing swords.
At 2 a.m.
At 2 a.m.
Like entertainment purposes, trying to raise money or something.
I don't know what are the purposes that people would swallow swords for.
I'm
For fun.
guessing it's some form of entertainment, like a street entertainer.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, I agree with you.
Saw a lot of that in New York. New York had a lot of that.
And weird people as
Hustlers,
well.
yes.
Massive rats.
Ish. I didn't see them.
No? Where in New York did you go?
She was on the bougie end. No rats.
We were in Manhattan.
Manhattan.
No rats.
Very, very bougie. And Jersey, very bougie as well. How long were you in New York for?
I think about 5 days.
Very expensive too, wasn't it?
She doesn't pay for
Sponsored
things.
trip, so
that
the
did
global
not-
citizen.
Must be nice.
It was nice. Yeah, it was very.
I've not had a sponsored trip.
You know, and going to New York, I always thought that because growing up, you saw a lot of New York rappers. Jay-Z's from New York, Nicki Minaj is from New York, Lil Kim is from
50
New York,
Cent.
you know, a lot of rappers are.
Do you know who else is from New York?
Diddy.
Diddy?
I know.
How did you know that was
I know you were going there. I'm kind of already getting it now. So I really thought that New York would like have my heart, and I'm like, I'm never
did
gonna
it?
move back. It didn't. It didn't. I said to myself, if I had come here, I went there when I was 29. I was like, if I had come here 10 years earlier, I would have probably really thrived in that city because of the fast pace and this and that. But at the time I went, I was 29. You know, I already had 2 kids at the time. I'd already met my husband. We weren't married, but we were very serious. And it was just like, you know, I'm not there. I'm not there. And my aunt was actually going, yeah, I was just like, no, I've got a whole career. I've got a whole life in Zambia.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. But otherwise, I think New York would have stolen my heart if I went much, much earlier.
Different place, different time. 2 questions?
Yeah.
Hold on, Gob. I did not connect your mic today.
Nah, you can ask. You can ask. Go ahead.
Question 1 is, what should you expect from the album? Are they international features? What's the hype like? Or
You sound like a ZNBC journalist, bro.
And then your second one?
the second one is DefJam. We haven't heard anything about it. Are you still under DefJam? Like, what's the biggest highlight for?
That's a better question.
Yeah, for
Okay.
DefJam. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. So your first question was about the album What's There to Look Forward to. Like I said, it's one of those albums that it's about your becoming. Okay, so there's a couple of features. A lot are local. I've dropped 2 songs from the album already, which is My Pressure with Dismo and 76 drums. And I've also dropped Keep Going, Kale with James Sakala, which talks about growth, you know, Kale Nakula, Filia. So there's already that message going on. So being the Gemini that I am, I can never really fall to one side. There's always going to be like a 2-sidedness to it. But you will hear a lot of storytelling. You will hear, I've got 2 features from South Africa. I won't name drop them yet. Yeah. But yeah, they're doing.
Is one of them your violas?
No.
No.
Yeah, but just the 2 features from South Africa, and then the rest are all homegrown. I'm a very big supporter of local talent. I'm a huge fan of my fellow artists as well. So some of my favorite artists are I'm featuring with. Natasha Chansa is not on this one, unfortunately, as much as I adore her. She was on Leaders of the New School. And it's so funny, like how Leaders of the New School had artists like Tio Nason, Toela Kaira, Jay Trigger, Mix Kasamwa, Tilo, Oreo, Lord Biscuit from, I think his crew is called, is it Blacklist? And all of these guys are just like, they're thriving, and the Fake as well, you know, and all of these artists are just having like their own moments. Like Tio had this major blowout, and Tilo had this major blowout.
Jay Trigger now.
Toela Kaira, Jay Trigger now, and now Oreo, I think, is starting
Oreo?
yeah.
Like the cookies?
It's called Lord Biscuit. He's having like
Lord Biscuit.
Do you know this person?
Lord Biscuit.
Do you know this person?
Lord Biscuit, no.
Like
Never heard of him. It's him, right?
you know, the way you didn't know Jay Trigger before nationality.
Yeah.
They're like right on the cusp, and I'm like, the whole Leaders of the New School album then might not have made like the buzz that, but each and every one of those artists that I worked with at the time is just like flourishing, and it's just so beautiful to see, and I absolutely love it. So unfortunately, Natasha is not on this one because she was on the previous one. But there's a few other favorites that I've also never worked with, like Slap D. I'm going to give that to you guys now. Okay. I've never really worked with Slap D on my own song. I've featured on some of his songs, like
So you're both rapping?
projects. Yeah, we are both rapping. But it's a very fun song. It's not like who's a better rapper, you know, it's just a very chilled, fun, summer vibes type of song.
Do you sing as well?
Well, I wouldn't say, yeah, I would say yes. You know, I would say yes. I'm not the best of singers, but it's one of those things like I've been coached. Like Kekera is very hard on me when I'm in the studio and he makes me sing and whatnot. There is a song called Touch and Go, which I do kind of sing on. And that was produced by Magicians. Pretty
That's
dope.
what Diddy did.
That's what Diddy did. He touch and go. Nah, he didn't go so far, did he? Did he?
Punchline.
Yeah. But anyway, it's really a dope album. And I think it's just about taking some time to enjoy it. And it's one of those that requires an ear because ultimately that's what hip hop is about. Hip hop needs an ear. So you need to take your time, listen to the tracks. There's a song called Love Language that speaks about relationships. You know, it was written by, who wrote Love Language? I think it was Tim, and I think Sammy Master. And it was a very interesting album because I have a lot of writers on the album that we've worked together. We were sort of in a small camp that we had to put our ideas together. What are we hearing on this? Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. Oh, Cleo, what do you think about doing something like this? You know, there's a song called Never Going Back to Broke. That's also just prophesying of how once I make money, I don't want to go back to broke. And that's where I'm at. Like, I'm never going back to broke. I'm saying it and I'm standing on it.
Prophesying.
I'm putting it out there. Like, here's, speak what you want to see.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Is there money in the music
It's
industry?
one of those albums. I think there is money in the music industry. You have to have, some form of strategy of how you extract money in the various places, which brings me to answer his second question about DefJam. DefJam Recordings Africa is a label that obviously was derived from DefJam of the US, which now is based in South Africa under Universal Music. So with DefJam, what we did was when I was signing the Johnny Walker deal, they kind of fused the whole thing with, okay, we're going to do this whole DefJam thing because we have a partnership as Johnny and DefJam. So we've got you're a hip hop artist. Okay, well, how do you guys think? Can we work with this? And what we had was actually a licensing deal. So they had a license to my Leaders of the New School album, which was why I was very deliberate about the album that I gave to DefJam, where it's not just about me, but about me and my people and these leaders of the new school that I feel like are on a certain wave and sound that is just different. That is not going to be boxed, or maybe that has been outcasted to say, this is not Zambian music, maybe because you rap or sing in English or whatever it might be, or you don't really sound like what most Zambians are putting out right now. So I wanted to give that platform to the young cats that I felt resonate with me and I resonate with them. And I learned so much from them. And that's why I made this album about that, to just sort of share that platform that I have while I have it. So that licensing deal, it just became about use this, blow it up as big as you want to. DefJam didn't blow that up for me. I did my press release. I said, I put it out there and said, this is what is going on. And just that alone opens up doors for you in certain rooms that ordinarily wouldn't really open up a door to this girl from Africa, let alone Zambia, a small country in Africa. You know, right now we are making a bit of a buzz here and there because we're a bit more lively on TikTok and this and that. And of course, we've been known for soccer for the longest of time, but
Right.
not a lot of people know Zambia. People automatically say Zimbabwe, you know, because of maybe Bob Marley, or he sang about Zimbabwe and Robert Mugabe. But for me, that was the ultimate thing. It was about Oliver Mtukudzi as well. Because about putting Zambia on that global scale with DefJam and just maximizing. Huh?
Wicknell.
Wicknell. Who's Wicknell? That's a Zimbabwean guy, right?
No, it's not very famous in Zambia.
So
Wait. DefJam, so where are you now?
I'm an independent artist. I'm with IC Gang Entertainment.
so that's finished. The
Yes.
DefJam thing.
It was a licensing deal for
what?
6 years. And that was in 2022. So in 2028, that licensing deal comes to an end and they no longer have a license to my music, and it comes back to IC Gang Entertainment. Leaders of the New School comes back
So
to
what were
IC
they
Gang
getting?
Entertainment. Basically we had some splits to it of how, you know, but ultimately, like I said, that whole DefJam situation sort of the company imploded in some way. Some internal stuff happened at Universal, which affected DefJam. And most of the people that were there when I was signing on left. And it just like, there was dead silence. So if you see any other artist, African artist that was his DefJam from there, there's really not much going on. It's not about like this or that. It's the company that sort of just...
So the rumors about you moving to Virgin?
Well, with Virgin Music, we have an agreement with Icy Gang Entertainment for distribution. So the new album will be distributed by Virgin Music Group, which is a very great team. They're very all-encompassing. I think there's a few other Zambian artists that might also be working with Virgin Music Group. But in the music industry, it's never really about like the level that we're at, even in Zambia alone. It's never really about who you're assigned to or this and that, because very few artists are getting like that major advance. The record label structure has changed in 2025. There's very few artists that are getting a major advance. And even when they say an advance, it's not really an advance. It's like they're loaning you money to say, listen, we're going to give you 5 million.
Of course, but they're going to get it back. But why do you need Virgin? Because you can't go directly to the DSPs?
Yes.
So why do you need them for distribution?
So I think all of that boils down to what your strategy is. It's not necessarily that I need them, but it's a thing of we sort of are leveraging off of each other. So
what are you getting from them?
Having to work with Virgin Music Group introduces me to a whole catalog of certain artists that they work with, and also exposes me to certain places that I as an individual might not even be aware of, certain systems and structures that work in the music business and system that Zambia doesn't have a music system or structure. So these are things that you can only learn and pick up from other certain big labels where you get some insight. And like I said, all depends on your strategy.
But what does that have to do with distribution though?
My strategy is learning things for Icy Gang Entertainment to stand on its own.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with distribution?
What do you mean?
Everything that you've just said, that you are supposedly benefiting from Virgin, what does it have to do with distribution? Because you can handle distribution on your own.
Yeah, so it's not only distribution, but it's also marketing, because they have obviously a cut in what is happening here. So when they have a cut, they are more invested. So me as an individual right now might not know. I might just say, okay, because I've seen a certain artist on this and this and this playlist, for example. I also want to be on that playlist. But I don't really know how the system and the structure works. But if they come to me and tell me, these are your marketing assets, and this is a certain form that you need to fill in, and it has this and this information and whatnot, that's me gathering my information and learning. So for me, that is my strategy and take, learning and growing my network as well in the music business.
Who owns your masters?
I own my masters.
Publishing?
Myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just the splits that you have with
features and
with the features, everybody sort of just there's a split share for everybody of the featured artists, the producers.
So how much do they take?
Well, when a producer, composer and whatnot, there's a 50-50 share, and then featured artists share equally as well. That's how I do it. But certain artists have different split sheets. It's just about the negotiation.
So you take 50 and everybody else takes the other 50?
No. So producer, composer of the music, and myself, we take 50. There's a musical side, okay, and then there's a performance side as well. So me and the artist also get a 50 of our own. But that's after a split has been taken by the marketing distribution team.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So what split do they take?
Who?
marketing and distribution.
It just depends what you negotiate.
What you agree.
I'm asking what you negotiated.
I cannot disclose what I negotiate.
Also, that's like you asking, what's Kazadi paying you?
Exactly.
No, it is not, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to be politically correct again.
Yeah.
There's a little child who's watching this podcast who's got a dream of also signing to Virgin, and they would like to know the extent of how they can negotiate their splits with these major record labels.
Yeah. Come to my masterclass. I'm working on one, and once it's done, you can just follow me on Instagram. It's at Cleo Ice Queen, one word.
So when
and I
it's
will be announcing when the masterclass will be coming. And I will drop all of these gems to you, my little darling. Love you.
Awesome.
You forgot the kiss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't worry. All those, that's the giving back I was telling you about. All of these things are things I'm learning.
So you're not charging people for the masterclass?
Well, we will see what structure we have. Everything is still in the pipelines, and I don't really want to preempt. because I have to see what my expenses are. There will be costs.
You said you're giving back.
Yes, I'm giving back. But when Jay-Z is giving us back his gems of knowledge, don't you buy the album?
No.
You bought the album for Jay-Z. Even when you're streaming it on Tidal or wherever it is.
Bootleg.
One way or another, he's still getting paid. Yeah.
No, I hear you.
This is a business.
It is.
Okay?
It is. Okay. Well, who said that?
South Park.
South Park. Mr. Garrison. Mr. Garrison.
My goodness. South Park used to make my days.
Oh, you watched South Park?
Yes. And Boondocks. There was that era. Like,
you just became cooler. I did not know how possible it was.
obviously, you find me cool. My 16-year-old doesn't find me cool.
Oh, man. Boondocks any day. South Park any day.
Yes. Riley and Huey. I actually want to start
both were
watching
played by the same
Boondocks
person.
again. Yes. Regina
King.
She is amazing.
Bruh.
Yo, I was like, when I listened to it again, I'm like, a woman did these
My
voices.
favorite scene is the R. Kelly when Riley was going to court and Mr. Dubois was representing the girl that R. Kelly peed on. Did you see that?
I remember that one, yeah. And Gangstalicious.
Riley says, I am 7 years old, or is this 13? Whatever. I've managed to get this far without getting peed on. I see pee, I get out of the way. She saw pee.
It's crazy, you know. Boondocks, you know, certain shows like those will not fly.
No,
in this day and age?
no.
Not.
The woke culture is a little too much, yeah.
Cancelled.
Oh, man.
Everything, the jokes. It's
But
not
to be
for-
honest, I
for this.
feel like...
I remember when Gangstalicious became gay.
I remember. But
today?
But to be honest, I feel like there are some shows that have got... South Park, for example, they have got a lot of homophobia in it.
Social
They have
commentary.
they've got a lot of anti-Semitic. They have got a core fan base. It's almost like I liken that to Dave Chappelle. It doesn't matter how many times Dave Chappelle attacks the gay people or the transgender and whatnot, and those people march and they yell at Netflix to cancel him. He has a core audience that still support and listen to and like and buy and purchase his stuff.
Yeah.
So whenever I watch South Park, I sit there and I'm like, wow.
This actually went on TV.
I want to get back into Boondocks though. I need that humor right now. Just for myself, you know, just for myself.
I watched this episode where Cartman says, you remember Cartman?
South Park, yeah.
Cartman says the F word. And who's the Jew? Is it Timmy?
Kenny. Yeah.
And then Kenny says, you can't say the F word. And he says, Jew.
Oh yes, there was a lot of that. Oh my goodness, Cartman was the
Oh, you
worst.
remember that, right?
Cartman was the worst.
Respect my authority.
I actually want to get back into watching a bit.
Oh, I need
Maybe not South Park, but
Boondocks. Yeah.
Would you watch it with your daughter, with your 16-year-old?
No, I didn't even watch it when I was 16.
So you would not watch it with her?
No.
Why?
She's 16. She probably has a rating of like,
I hear you.
15 or something.
Yeah.
What is it about their content would you not want her exposed to? Especially the fact that you are there as well. And that is your parenting moment when they speak about whatever it is, because they touch on different aspects of life.
So who's that? Who are we talking about specifically?
Your 16-year-old daughter.
Well, she's not even at the age where she can watch all of those things.
Yeah, no, but my point is...
If she was older, I can.
But my point is this. Is there something specific that you do not want her exposed to?
From those shows. I don't really know because I don't remember
Apart from the language, obviously.
all the little things.
Yeah.
I don't remember all the... That's why I think I'm saying I want to rewatch and see like, why was I so entertained by this stuff at such an age?
When did you
I
start
think I
watching
was
it?
like, I think I was probably like around 18.
Right.
Yeah, around 17, 18, 19. No, not 17, 18, 19, somewhere there. And I'm just trying to think like, why did I find this so entertaining? Why did I find this so funny? You know what I mean? And see like, do I still find some of the things funny?
Right,
Do
right.
I still find, that's the main purpose why I really want to watch it.
What are some of the traits that either you have now or that you had at 16 that you don't want your daughter to have?
I think I don't really focus on the traits. It's funny, I was speaking to them about this yesterday and I said, the one thing I want to do is teach them some of the things that I wish I learned earlier.
Like what?
Maybe one key thing would be standing your ground and being comfortable in your identity, So especially like for girls and women, maybe now it's different for their era or whatever, but for us, we came from a place where we are raised in such a traditional environment as young girls, as women. So you come from a place where when you don't want to be confrontational, but sometimes when you don't confront a particular situation, I'm not saying be a confrontational person, but if there's a particular situation that is affecting you, be confident enough to confront that particular situation, because then when you don't and it's affecting you and you swallow it, you are shrinking yourself in some sort of a way. And it plays on your personality, on your confidence, and how you move forward. And it helps to confront situations as individual. Like in that moment, I can't come to you and say, no, but for the past 3 months, you've been doing this and this. No, if you spoke to me badly right then I need to come back to you and tell
address
you,
it.
I don't like the way you spoke to me at that particular moment. I feel like this and this and this and this. But if you let it pile up, the day you blow up, you will look insensitive and
it sounds like gaslighting too.
You see, so that's like just one of the things, I could go on and on and on, but it's also as it goes and as we flow. Another thing is about friendships. And I was telling them to say, when you do something alone, like go for a movie or go have a meal and sit in a cafe and read a book or work on an assignment, it's okay to be alone. Being alone doesn't mean you are lonely. It's okay to be alone and to take the time for yourself and not be desperate for a friendship or certain friendships, If you're not getting the reciprocity, it's okay. You don't have to be desperate for a friend, a lover, a friendship, a certain relationship. Be comfortable and okay with doing things alone and on your own. Yeah.
Deep.
That's one of the things.
Gems.
Cleo, thanks a lot for coming through. Really appreciate it and can't wait to see you on that panel of adjudicators. Icon Season 2.
Icon Season 2.
Did this go the way that you thought it would?
I was telling Kalenga, I was like, I don't want this thing to be long. Like, what are we going to be talking about for 1 whole hour, bro? Like, let's just do 20 minutes. Yo, what's up? She goes, asking, hey, what's up?
But how long did we run?
Almost 2 hours.
Did it feel like 2 hours? See?
No. How are you going to cut this? Because ain't nobody be sitting for 2 hours.
You'll be surprised.
You'll be very surprised.
You'll be very
Especially the live one, when it goes up, people watch to the very end.
Yeah, no.
They actually watch the credits and tell God you misspelled director.
Anybody who's watching, I thank you so much for tuning.
There's someone at ZNBC when the president was addressing who misspelled national.
What did they leave out?
They wrote natio anal. Do you see that, Bob?
There was space.
No, there wasn't, but that's how they spelled it. Wait.
Oh, they moved the N and the A around.
I think it was the I and I don't know. But it was misspelled.
Somebody's gonna lose their job.
I hope you don't lose your job. It was just a mistake. But you need to be attentive.
Somebody has to lose their job. I can understand if it is Pilato talking. Then you can make a mistake, Yabon.
Like in his speech?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But in the spelling, something that's...
No. In the spelling, you can make a mistake with that.
Under a permanent secretary's speech.
Yeah.
Like on the TV, the caption, whatever, lower thirds they call it, yeah.
No, you can make a mistake there. The president. No, you need people.
Let's not hold you any longer than you're supposed to be here for. It's already... Thank you for coming through. And
hopefully there'll be...
wishing you success with the album.
Thank you. I appreciate
and success
that.
on Icon.
Thank you.
Will it be on Apple Music as well?
Yes. This album will be on Apple Music. It will be on Spotify. It will be on AudioMac, on Boomplay, YouTube Music.
Is the video out already or no?
No, the video is not out yet.
Is it only out after the episode? After the album comes? Okay, cool.
What do you think I should do? Should I drop it before or after?
Absolutely before.
Yeah?
Yeah. Gives people something to look forward to. People begin to warm up to it.
It's a deal.
But then again,
I want to hear from you also in the comment section because the album drops on the 12th of July. So if you want to see the video before, let me know.
I mean, it's like,
what day? Can you quickly check what day the 12th of July
The
is?
boss of Icy Gang Entertainment.
Big mistake.
it's your son's birthday. Oh, so that's Cleo's present to you.
Aww.
But globally, music is always dropped on Fridays. You know this, right? I don't know if you know this or not.
Yeah, there is the new release Friday thing. Yes.
Yes, music always dropped. I don't know. You do something different, I guess.
Yeah. I'm sort of just doing things my own way.
As you should.
What did you say it's going to be? Oh, it's a
drop on
it's a Thursday.
No, the 12th of July.
Where
is
are we?
Saturday.
12th, we are in June.
Oh, sorry. 12th of July will be a Friday, Saturday.
So it'll drop at
Saturday.
midnight.
On Saturday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so Friday.
Wait, which midnight? Into Saturday or out of Saturday?
Into Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
Into Saturday.
Okay. Well, this should be fun.
It will be fun.
I'm going to listen to it.
Yeah.
We're going to review it.
Okay.
With
I'm going to give my honest opinion.
Of course you will.
What does that mean?
I mean, we trust you to do that, to give your honest opinion.
Remember,
It's like say things just for the sake of, not be politically correct. Yes, we trust you to do that.
all right, cool. So guys,
Check out
remember,
our brothers.
check out brothers, Techno, and also to vote for us, Zantel Social Media Awards. We're still in contention. Star 9595 hash for those of you in Zantel. You can
There's
also vote on the Zantel
website.
app.
Oh, is it an app?
There's an app. I think it's called My Zantel app. And then on the website, it's www.zantel.zm.
My Zamtel app is also a URL that you are able to access even without the app, right?
Yeah.
You're right.
Pretty much. Yeah, but they've actually categorized like the ways that you can vote. So I just
Is it
mentioned those.
podcast of the year?
Yes, podcast of the year. And
All the
guys,
best, all
we
the
are.
best with that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, now-
which one is Cleo's camera? Cleo.
Gob is not going to play this either way.
No. So,
He's not going to chop it out.
listen, right here with witnesses, starting with the, what's the other guy? The guy we had last.
J Trigger.
If you do not, Gob, we agree, we are ducking $500
From this episode.
into that camera. Please vote for that Z podcast at the Zamtel Awards, star 9595 hash.
Star 95.
95 hash.
Guys, whatever the codes are, just vote for that Z podcast at the Zamtel Social Awards, social media.
Social media awards.
Social media awards.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you see me in any category, just vote for me.
The voting is happening on Star.
The voting is happening on star 9595 hash.
Not 69, not 69.
Star 9595 hash.
That's what I said.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. All right, cool.
Star 95.
Guys, we're now at 84.9.
Looks embarrassed.
84.9 subscribers, right? Okay, on YouTube. Yeah. Let's make it 85 today. Click on the subscribe button. Till the next episode, have a lovely day.